Welcome, Star Family. I am Akasha Azurite. This is Starseed Evolution YouTube channel. I'm going to be speaking about my craziest Kundalini awakening experiences for all that are going through the Ascension process at this time and going through Kundalini awakenings. My Kundalini experience started in 2013. I have been sitting here tuning into when I believe that my Kundalini started. I believe it was before that, probably around 2010, 2009. I remember having experiences in my lower spinal cord during certain energetic alignments of groups, of soul groups in my 20s, and I didn't realize that I was having Kundalini experiences, and I was experiencing the Kundalini rising. Now, I believe it was stuck in my root chakra for a while, and what happened is that a frequency match came, and also the birthing of my child too as well ignited and activated my Kundalini awakening process. So I'm going to share my bizarre, crazy Ascension Kundalini awakening experiences for the all to expand their consciousness outwards, because mine is a lot different, even different, and I am going to say my experience is different from other experiences that I've heard of. So I've listened to many experiences, and I've had more, I'm going to say galactic experiences, telepathic experiences, very bizarre out-of-body experiences. So I'm going to tell you to come on a journey with me for as long as it takes to express the experiences through my throat chakra vortex and activating it on to share with you the crazy experiences on my journey. So everybody knows that the gates opened in 2012. You can say the gates opened, but the stellar cycle started to wrap up, which is a stellar activation cycle. So I am one of the first waivers that was activated on during that time. Completely turned all the way on like a Christmas tree, and that was in 2013. So I'm going to share these experiences, and then also I'm going to share Ascension symptoms too as well. And it's important for the Ascension symptoms because I believe right now we're going through mass awakenings for the Great Awakening that we all talk about. Now, the Great Awakening occurrence is internal, and the awakening process is the beginning of removing your veils of amnesia, which is, it is the amnesia that we came in here and all of our memories were wiped completely, and we have seals and tags and implants and frequency fences, and the Galactics call it certain wiring that causes us to forget who we are. Our memories were completely wiped coming in here. Some of us more than others have more frequency fences, and they do call them different fences, wiring and internal matrices and prisons. And then I'll get into that a little bit later. So the Great Awakening is internal, as far as removing the veils of your amnesia of remembering who you are. So it is a part of the spiritual awakening experiment, and I do call it an experiment. So this is a 360-degree mirror process, and the mirror process is it's a huge part. Actually, it's a huge part of the it's a huge part of the awakening process. It's supposed to help you do deep reflection, to look within, and that we're all connected to source. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there, and I will I will come back around quantumly. So everything's light technology and quantum. So I'm going to let my oversoul speak and have my oversoul come in and merge deeply between all dimensions of my field to express the Kundalini awakening experiences that have occurred. So the beginning process was most likely in 2010, where I was having acceleration vibrational frequencies through my spinal cord and certain energetic groups. Groups are going to be individual us's, human species, different soul groups coming together, and most likely I was being activated then. The second experience that I had was the delivery of my daughter, where my daughter was starting to activate me, and she is a diamond crystal child. So I had my experience with her. Now I had a near-death experience to almost dying as well, giving birth to her. So I was leaving my body and beginning the process of exiting the vessel. And it is a vessel. And it's just a suit as a spiritual being coming in here on an experience. It's a multidimensional experiment. And we fall into the amnesias, if you want to say, and we don't remember who we are coming in here. Okay, so I had a near-death experience, and that was the beginning process. Now you would say it could have been a walk-in, but according to my oversoul and my guardian councils, I didn't have a walk-in come in. I had a multidimensional higher self who's a feline humanoid come in. And it's not a walk-in, it's a multidimensional higher version of me, which is an angelic human race. And that is from a futuristic time cycle. It is a integration process that needed to start. So what was happening was I was leaving my body, and I was dying, and I was hemorrhaging, and that is where my amnesia started to lift, if you want to say, because I was leaving my body, and I knew I was dying. And if you want to say death, as in, if you want to say death, that is what my human self was perceiving at the time, because my consciousness was not expanded enough. And I was in fear. So death is an illusion too as well, and it is an illusion. It's not real. This is just a vessel coming in here on an experience, and this is just a vessel of armor, if you want to say, or sometimes people call it a suit, and that's all it is, okay? Or a shell. We are spiritual beings here on a spiritual experience, so I did fall into fear, but I did have my outer body experiences, if you want to say, leaving the vessel. This is one of many during my process. So I started to pray to the higher, if you want to say, to spirit, and I ended up having a few angelics and guardians come in, and they healed me where my hemorrhaging stopped. So that was my beginning process, and the beginning process is I realized that my feline humanoid self came in to assist me during that time in an embodiment and an integration process, and I didn't realize that is what the occurrence was. And all of my sensories and psychic centers and my awareness and my consciousness expanded during that time. Not only the expansion of giving birth to my daughter, but I was not the same after that. So I could feel a difference in myself after that process. And when I say the experience of my feline higher self coming in was the abilities of the integration. I had abilities that were enhanced, and the enhancement of my abilities was very HD vivid as far as external outwards. I was able to kind of see like more like an animal would, or a cat, or a jaguar. I was able to expand and to be able to see, and all my psychic awarenesses and sensories were full-blown during this time. So, and I say full-blown as far as very on. Now, you do drop, of course, you'll start to drop, and I had major programming coming up at this time, and I was purging and releasing. And I did that for about 6 months. And I had another frequency match come in, and this was a soulmate. Now, the soulmate came in, twin flame soulmate, if you want to say, and his soul contract ignited my Kundalini even more from intercourse. So we had an intercourse, and I think it was only for a few months, and the intercourse frequency that we had activated it pretty much activated my next cycle of my ascension process. So the Kundalini started to activate even further. Now, it's not a twin flame union per se, it's a frequency match, and a frequency match is a split off of a divine soul or extension, possibly of my oversoul, multidimensionally in a vessel. Now, we are all connected in all source, and I was taken to these levels, and I will go into. I do call them levels because that's what the humans call it, is different levels of ascension or enlightenment, enlightenment experiences, divine embodiment with the supreme consciousness of source. So this happened probably about a few years later. So it was the advancement of his being. His vessel is the vessel, if you want to say, and his Blu-ray being is different. The Blu-ray in itself is more expanded and is an advanced being. So the ignition, if you want to say that you could call it a twin flame frequency, but it was an activation for my spiritual awakening, my level 3 spiritual awakening of my ascension process. Okay, so this was the experience in itself and the activation of the frequency of the soulmate that came in was to help and accelerate me to collapse my internal matrix prisons within me. That's exactly what it was, to start my next level of my ascension process, to move me from one dimension to the next dimension. So everything collapsed. All of my internal matrix prisons and the matrix itself started to collapse with the Kundalini awakening. The acceleration was advancement of psychic sensory abilities. Telepathy is one of them. And I had different angelic humans and galactics communicating with me after that telepathically. It wasn't too long afterwards, and that is a part of the ascension symptoms that you can have. I was also seeing the other side, if you want to say, but I realized I was seeing higher dimensional planes. I actually was seeing interdimensional planes and also metadimensional beings. It looked like spirit beings, but it wasn't. So I was actually seeing multidimensionally, quantumly. Okay, so this is the beginning process that the ignition to this soul frequency, and this will happen with twin flames or soulmates or different soul contracts, that can start your ascension process and your Kundalini awakening experience. Now, I had rushes of energies, okay? Of course, rushes of energies and energetics of higher states of consciousness and conscious awareness, okay? So everything collapsed, and I ended up, and when I say everything collapsed, I left everything that I had for 10 years, everything that I did for 10 years, my work, I dropped everything and I left. I literally gave away all of my furniture in my house, very bizarre experience. I just packed everything up and I left the city that I was living in. This will happen too. Now, you have to understand that this was the beginning process of my telepathic communication with different guardian races, different galactic races. So I have a Kundalini experience, but my Kundalini experience is a lot different. A lot of people say enlightened beings, advanced beings. I had different galactic councils coming and communicating with me, and it was very beautiful. experience, but they were saying, okay, you know, that my higher self, who's a multidimensional, said, just get up and just leave, you know, just start packing everything and just give up everything. And I did do it. And this will happen during your ascension process. So that is an internal collapse. So it's an external collapse, but I couldn't do it anymore. Like I had an awakening and an experience, and I had the conscious awareness. And what happened is that the process between the occurrence of the beginning of my near-death experience, the frequency match coming in to ignite my Kundalini awakening, okay, so this can resonate with a lot of you, to when it ignited, I had all these conscious expansions and conscious awarenesses happening all at the same time. Also telepathic abilities too, and hearing my higher self. Now the multidimensionals, the majority of them that were communicating with me were multidimensional me's and angelic human races that are me's from different time cycles. Then you have the oversoul, okay? So you have to understand that there's different levels that you go through for ascension, and then you have your avatar matrix, okay? So what will happen is that I remember I was just standing there at the job that I was in, and it's a slave job. It was very much a slave job at that time, and I realized this. It was one of my biggest imprisonments that I was in, and I just remember just going, oh, I'm done. Like, I can't do this anymore. So I dropped everything, and I left, and that was pretty much me, and I was speaking my truth the whole time, so my throat chakra was open. And I was having major expansions, and all my psychic sensories were open, and I pretty much was lit up like a Christmas tree. And I was having internal collapses all at the same time. And it was very hard for me going through these cycles. So I think I went through it for a week, and then I just said, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore. So I left everything, and I moved away. And all I did was just go from one dimension to the next dimension. A lot of people will talk about this dimension being like the cross between... It almost feels like you're in the spirit realm, if that makes sense. And this is like the death and rebirth cycles of the ascension process. So I was being processed by many galactics at this time. And I had different guidance experiences. I had different, Pleiadian councils, which is Pleiadia. This is not the Pleiades, it's a different council that was coming to me, different guardian races that were coming and communicating with me. I was speaking star language and light language. I was drawing too as well. So I was speaking in I was seeing, that's my star language. I speak multiple star languages. I speak multiple angelic languages. I speak planetary languages. I can also speak universal. And when I say universal, this is beyond the universal time matrix. So I realized that I'm a translator, and a translator for first contact during this time, and that's what different guardians were explaining to me. And I was a first waver, and I also was processing a lot of information in the next 5 years, even about the COVID that was going to happen, which was going to be a mass, pretty much almost a mass extermination for the human race. And we were able to adjust timelines, and that's not only the other things. We have the sun, and there's other adjustments and realignments. That's not the only realignment. In the 5 years of being processed, they just were explaining that there was events that were going to happen in the next 5 years, and that's actually was one of them. That was one of them. Different types of events. I actually have a bunch of different types of writings and journalings from different times and spaces that I'll probably end up writing a book about, from different time travelers communicating with me, and different galactic time travelers, which are angelic time travelers, which are us, from the 4000s, I think the 4000s and 3000s, that I actually work with now even more. Just kind of sharing the experience, and they're processing me on all of this information. It's not the only... There was multiple different events that were going to happen in the 5 years experience. So I had 5 years to hurry up as a first waiver as a Galactic. So I'm going back through my Kundalini awakening experiences. Now I will go into just the briefing of the telepathic communication, telepathically hearing other people's thoughts. This is very real. I was guided and I was assisted by my multidimensional higher self and also different guardians to help and assist me as far as to learn how to maintain in the physical with the human species, and also to work through different frequency fence wiring, which will put us into fear. They call it dropping, where you can drop, or you can go into fear and go back into the amnesia veils, and they do call it the amnesia. So I had multiple councils working with me, and I was speaking in star language, writing in star language. The indifference of being indifferent from others was the only, if I'm going to say the only downfall or the illusion of being out of place and wanting to go home or to leave, okay? And I would keep asking them, I don't understand, why wouldn't you just take me out of here? Why am I here? And it's not really the walk-in, it was more of an integration and an awakening with a very advanced being who is me, which is the star being, which is my star being that is, in a sense, trapped within the Maya's matrix prison here, but came in here as an assistant and wanting it to find its way out. The crystal star being is the Christed child, who is me, and I am one of the Christed children. They refer to me as one of the Christed children of the sun. So, and it's just a name, obviously. So I'm here for the Christ wave, or the Christed wave, the Christ consciousness, golden age, Christos Sophia. I am a Christed child. So the Christed child, who is me, the beautiful advanced being, did not want to be here at all. I had multiple gods coming to me at the same time, where I actually could see them physically. Ashtar is one of them. The goddess Ashtar walked up to me, clear as day, and different types of gods would communicate with me through my crown, and they would all speak through my crown chakra. And I had my telepathy split in a few different ways. My right side of my brain is more the telepathy of the human species here, and the left side of my brain is actually higher dimensional, interdimensional, ultra-dimensional, meta-dimensional beings. So I was able to feel, okay, well, these are like gods and oversouls talking to me up here, and then I could kind of piece apart my sections of my brain on how to speak telepathically. So I was speaking telepathically to different beings, advanced level beings, for maybe about 5 years, and then I started speaking through my heart center, and that happened in 2019. Because my Merkaba vehicle, which is your Merkaba vehicle, your vehicle light, was constructed enough where I can telepathically communicate through my heart center, and I don't need to communicate up here all the time. During that process, because my telepathy was so open, I did have really horrible interference that I'll talk about in another time. I will do another. I'm actually going to do a documentary on that. The interference, because I was so telepathically open, I had major frequency interferences, and I guess you will call those PSI attacks. In 2013, for the moment I woke up, by different beings. You can call it beings, but I don't think that they were beings, to be honest with you. And I will be going into that a little bit details, and I don't want to promote fear in anyone, but it is the truth. I am going to speak the truth and not sugarcoat my experience of the experiences that I had. I had very different experiences, being I guess the star being, that I am, the divine being speaking vibrationally and high vibrational, and the being that was speaking through me is very old being that was awakened, who is me. It is the Christ child. And trying to explain that, I could translate right away. Most light language channelers can't translate. I've noticed that too. A lot of them can't translate. I speak to multiple councils and different Syrian councils too as well. And I love them, and they're my family. The feline humanoids are my family too as well. So I'm speaking about the Kundalini experiences of my experiences. It's not always going to be everybody's experience. A lot of people will experience seeing different Hindu gods or different types of gods or embodiments with different gods too. So going into the Kundalini bizarre experiences, as far as when the Lightbody actually started to activate, I was having rushes of waves of orgasmic energies coming through my body. A lot of people would refer this to tantric energies, but it's cosmic source frequency that was penetrating through my body, and I was having a crystalline light body activation, which is orgasmic frequencies. The orgasmic frequencies is the Kundalini fiery hot frequencies. It's all fire, where you feel like you're on fire. You can feel like you're on fire, but I was having lots of Kundalini rushes of cosmic source frequencies and orgasms throughout my whole body, and I think that lasted for about 2 weeks. And it was rushes of orgasms, full-blown orgasms. So if you want to think about the orgasm, if you all have experienced the orgasm, you want to think about the orgasm times 1,000, and that's what the Kundalini awakening experience, the crystalline light body, will feel like. So you'll have waves after waves after waves. Your toes will be orgasming, your head, every part of your body will be in full-blown orgasmic experiences. To the human itself, to us, to the ego, to the lower self, if you want to say, will not understand these experiences. If you drop into fear during these experiences, the cosmic source energy, the cosmic source orgasmic experience will eventually die. It will probably end up, to me, it will cause some blockages when I couldn't relax enough to experience, because you have to understand that I was a mother. I am a mother, and it's only me raising my child. So I had no choice but to get up and to make sure that I could still function for my child. So I wasn't able to slow down and to rest and to kind of experience of the cosmic source orgasmic frequency activating every one of my cells and purifying my body. And that's what it is. It is a huge purification process in itself. And this is one of the experiences during the Kundalini energetics. Now I had my plasma crystalline light body, it's the crystalline liquid, which is cooling. Feels like cooling sensations happening in my from my pineal gland to my pituitary glands, opening up all of my crown, and the Godhead, which is the crown chakra in the back, the well of dreams. There's different names for it. The experiences, it felt like liquid bursting open throughout my whole crown. Okay, so the experience would feel like cooling liquid plasma, and that's your crystalline plasma chambers opening, and that is during the Kundalini awakening experience. And I pretty much was having both light bodies coming online at the same time. There is the crystalline body, then there's the atomic body, which I felt like that one was more of the atomic body, and then there's the plasma body, which is the liquid plasma body. And I was having all of it come on at once. My higher self was pulling me and rushing me as fast as possible. I think it was in 2017 I had my physical body ascension process. Now the physical body, I had major Kundalini awakenings, and that's okay, right? If you want to say, I'm going to say that was the 2013 to 2017 experiences. My super quantum computer system was coming online fully. Okay. What is that? That's the Merkaba vehicle. Okay, the Merkaba vehicle of light. So I was having all the abilities coming online, and that is a part of, I guess you can call it the spiritual awakening, the Starseed awakening, the Indigo awakening, the Christed child awakening, the Merkaba vehicle, completely coming fully online. And when I say fully online, that I could stand next to somebody or walk up to someone and I could download your whole life vividly right in front of me. If you were standing in my field, I could see all of your memories, everything, things you don't want to see, telepathic thoughts, your unconsciousness and subconscious. I was downloading like a quantum computer system very fast, and that was in 2017. The next experience was more of the physical body experience. The physical body experience put me out for about 4 months. I couldn't work anymore, which is fine because I actually changed my whole life during that time, and I wasn't happy with the experience because of all of the lower self of the survival frequencies, and also the environment that I was in at the time. So the environment itself was the only reason why I was stressed out about the experiences, because of survival. Didn't have any support at all. No support whatsoever since I woke up, and I realized that too. Never had no support. Lots of soul contracts that weren't the highest for me, so I was pretty much just me, my child, and my guardians, and that was it. My higher self, the higher me, and the oversoul there at this time. So the survival of the programming needed to come up because my physical ascension started, and that was in 2017. There was a solar eclipse, and with the solar eclipse, it ended up bursting my heart open even more. So my heart opened experience, that was my ascension physical body experience, and that was the beginning process of me even knowing about ascension at all. I knew a little bit about the spiritual awakening, the Starseed awakening, but not the physical body ascension process. The physical body ascension process in 2017, there was a huge wave, an acceleration wave of an awakenment for all the heart centers to burst open, and we just had a few others recently that just happened, and I'm really excited because I call it the Great Awakening in itself. And my heart expanded completely, but it felt like I was having a heart attack. So these are part of ascension symptoms. I thought I was having a heart attack. I think I was like 32 or 33 years old at this time, and or 31. And I thought I was having a heart attack. I couldn't move either. My spinal cord, I couldn't move my neck, my back, all the way up to here. It was horrible, horrible, horrible spinal cord pain. Okay. I couldn't move. The pain, I could never experience that pain again. It was so bad. It was like sharp needles all the way up to my brain. I actually thought I had a brain tumor, or all these thoughts of negative thoughts and negative, to me, implant thought forms at this time, that I was dying. It is a part of a physical ascension process. My higher self was speeding me up very fast because of my role here, my contracts here, a way shower, if you want to say. So I was being speeded up very fast through my ascension and my physical body ascension. So I thought I was having a heart attack. I went to the hospital. They couldn't find anything wrong with me. I couldn't move my neck. all the way up here. Now, I really was in pain. I couldn't move. I had vertigo too as well. I had vertigo where everything was completely twisted, and like the whole room looked like it was completely upside down, backwards, like it wasn't, everything was completely distorted. I had vertigo horribly. I had about out-of-body experiences where I was pulled out of my body, thrown back into my body. And this is all in like a week period of time, and it was just me inside of my internal prison, just completely like internally dying inside because I didn't understand what was happening. And like the fear frequency fences of the matrix system was like ringing, if you want to say, because my higher self was just shaking and shaking everything off of me. And I realized what my higher self was actually doing during this time. Now, I believe I had too much source energy coming through and too much cosmic source energy coming through during this time, and this was after the eclipse, that my jaws were, it was like I was being electrocuted, and that's a part of the Ascension symptoms. The too many frequencies were coming in at that time, and this has happened to me multiple times. Too much frequencies were coming in that I was pretty much frying in the bed. This has happened to me a few times, and it has a lot to do with the light body mark of a vehicle too as well. Some people think it's others, but I at least know this one was definitely Ascension symptoms. I did get a confirmation that it was Ascension symptoms. My brain was completely messed up, and I remember all of my body being shut down, and I shut down my body. Whatever happened was they shut down my vessel completely, and I'm going to say they because there is a higher self, there's an oversoul up there that knows what it's doing, obviously. And this vehicle, because I was constructing my super quantum computer system, like I said before this even happened, I could download anything on you, and I could telepathically hear your thoughts for years. So my computer system is at an advanced level, and so this is more the physical body ascension process, if you want to say. So they had to shut down, pretty much all of my organs got shut down. I was laying down in the bed, and I knew what was happening. They pretty much were shutting down all of my organs. And I knew I was like, oh, I'm dying again, but that's like the frequency fences of death. There is no death, we are immortal, okay? We really are immortal beings. So at least I know that I am, and I do know this, and I've been shown so many times, so I'm okay. I've had major enlightenments over and over again where I told God consciousness source that I communicate with all the time. I said, you don't have to keep showing me anything. I get it. I've had major experiences over and over again of death, being put back into my body, all kinds of stuff over and over again for like years, and I totally get it now. It was like, I get it, we're immortal. I at least I know I'm an immortal being at this point. Thank you for showing me how we enter and we exit the body. So, and this is, I'll get into this a little bit later. So all my organs and everything shut down completely, and I was in the bed, and I remember this. Of course, I never do anything. I never go, barely would go even get anyone or talk to anybody. Only if like I was really, really scared. So all my organs shut down completely. And then it was my higher self, but it's one of my galactic guardians is there with me and was telling me to breathe and to like telepathically helping me the whole time. And that's actually my galactic husband. My galactic husband was with me the whole time. And he is my galactic husband from Andromeda. And that's another awakenment that I had. So they was telling me just to breathe, and then they just turned me back on. So everything shut down completely. I, was brought out of the body. Was I brought out of this body? No, this one was just where everything just shut down, and it was very much like vibration, and all of my organs just boom, 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 shut down, and then everything went, turn it back up, turn it back on, turn it back on, turn it back on, like everything come back on. It was like shut down the system and then like reboot the whole system. I've had this happen a few times, some really crazy experiences with the quantum computer system And so I was like, oh, this is a quantum computer system. I get it. I can start seeing, I could actually see the Merkaba vehicle for years, not realizing, oh, this is the tetrahedrons, and this is the Merkaba vehicle. Vehicle of light, right? So I would say about 4 months I couldn't get out of bed because I had vertigo symptoms so bad. Couldn't do anything. I had some good soul family come in during that time. Great contracts to help and assist me. So can't work for 4 months. In the survival realm, I call it. I had good soul contracts come in during that time to help and assist me. My higher self said, don't worry, everything will be taken care of. The environment around me was not the highest either during that time, but I had some great soul family come in and help and assist me, and I had a good teacher come in, a great healer that talked to me about the ascension process and about ascension. And that was the beginning process of me getting out there and being a language of light healer. And I actually started healing after I started to recover during my ascension. So I had major awakenings during this time. Now, one of the biggest awakenings is that I healed myself, number one, out of all these bizarre experiences being taken in and out of my body, and the vertigo, which was actually the Merkaba vehicle, the tetrahedrons moving, and it was my reversal spin. So it was actually the tetrahedrons and the Merkaba vehicle that was starting to really ignite off. And I realized that the physical body, of course, my physical body was never up to par. And the reason why I say this, and it wasn't up to par at all, and that's the reason why I had so many ascension symptoms. There's frequency fences, there's seals, and my higher self jumped up, and that's when I started having really big higher self experiences. And I have a huge higher self that sits over me, and she's a crystalline being, beautiful, luminous crystalline being, absolutely beautiful Andromedan. And she just sits over me like this, and I'm multidimensional, so I have multidimensional higher selves in different dimensions, but she's the one up here, and she's the one that would just jolt my etherics and start ripping seals off of me, off of my left side, and just started ripping and tearing them all off, and all my frequency fences, and I know implants too as well, and was sitting there healing me, and also showing me like a whole new chakra system, Merkaba system. It was a really cool experience during this time. I had so many different experiences in the 4 months of me also just laying in bed with vertigo too. At this time I had vertigo. I couldn't move. Oh my god, I couldn't move. The pain in my spinal cord all the way up here. I thought I had all these different types of I thought infections in the brain, and there was nothing wrong with me. It was all ascension symptoms. Okay, but I couldn't move because of the Kundalini frequencies, all the frequencies coming in through the spinal cord. Okay, so I had to kind of relearn everything again. I changed my diet. I went completely vegan during this time. I'm trying to think of other, besides all the training that I had previous to my ascension symptoms. I had multiple training in different quantum mechanics, metaphysical, light working, Starseed light working too as well. All different types of training during this time. I always could telepathically communicate to the guardian, so that was okay for me. That just became normal after a while. I'm trying to go back to all of the ascension symptoms. Seeing Krystalline, the Krystalline matrix, the crystal matrix, since 2014. Okay, I'm going to say like light beings. You can say seeing beyond the veils, but I was seeing into the fifth dimension, into the Krystalline matrix, which is the universal matrix. Different types of light beings. The Merkaba vehicle, frequency bandwidths, waves, telepathic abilities. My consciousness was very expanded. All of my sensories were on. I started to become a healer after I started to heal myself. And I actually was healing myself, but I was able to connect with one of my higher selves, and that is the luminous being that is a world creator, and she creates in other star systems and other worlds too, and she was showing me all of this at the same time. And now I actually teach everything. I teach everything that she teaches me. So she's a creator, but she's huge. She's absolutely huge. And she was assisting me the whole time. I can actually see the cord, so it's like an extension, if you want to say, but I'm the only extension that she has here, and she made it very clear to me. And she has another half of her too as well. So she's, it is me, but it's like a higher luminous me, and it's going to be on the vertical. Now we have multidimensionals in other dimensions, okay, in your morphogenetic field, but she's like on my vertical, so any higher self that is above here is definitely the higher self. And then I have the oversoul that sounds like a computer, if you want to say, a really loud male voice. It sounds male, but it's more like a programmer. I don't know how to explain it. Like it's very, very loud. It talks to you like this, and I am your oversoul, like that. Are you okay down there? Yes, it'll talk to you. The oversoul will talk to you like this, and it's like, okay, I'm coming down to talk to you. Most likely the oversoul will come into my heart center and will talk to me through here. So I'll just sit here and go, oh, okay, I'll talk to the oversoul. And the source frequency is more of a female frequency, and that's source. The source source sounds like a quantum computer system, actually, and sounds like female. Okay, and that one is always now talking up here, and that is normal to me because the Merkaba level phase that I'm at. So it's normal to me. Anybody else be like, oh, I don't hear that. Okay, well, this is what I hear all the time. So I'm pretty much at the avatar matrix. I'm starting the avatar consciousness templates, which is my master templates now, and I have excelled during all of my experiences, and that was in 2017. So we're in 2021, and I've had multiple experiences and crazy experiences of being taken out of my body through here too, as well through the pineal gland, and being taken out and being put back in as light, and leaving the body, and when we leave, we can leave through the pineal gland and then coming back into the body physically too. So I've been shown those outer body experiences, if you want to say, or near death experiences, but that's more a form of teleportation. It's only a vessel. So what was being shown to me is that we can actually come back, go out and come back in to our body, and it is a light body, so it is light and crystalline light body, and our physical body is actually crystalline light body too as well. You're just clearing density off of your crystal body, and that's it. So being taken in and out, and that's actually how we used to come in and out, and it's because I was able to work through all of my gates and my internal gates. So I activated all of my gates on. Now because my gates are open, I can actually go in and out of my vessel. Okay, so that is what was being shown to me, where I think I had another experience. I think that was in 2019. 2019, I had another experience on the Smoky Mountains. And I went down the wrong trail, and I got lost, if you want to say, in the Smoky Mountains. And it was the last winter in the Smokies, and I was dehydrated and hyperthermia and frostbite, and I survived because of my guardians, because of my higher self. One of my higher selves jumping into, actually that's when I believe more of a walk-in, if you want to say, started to come in and told me to get up, and told me if you go to sleep that you're not going to make it this time. So I was like, oh, okay, that's great. So I stayed awake, and then I was being taken in and out, and it's because my gates were open, I was able to go out of my Stargate in the third eye. So I was able to exit and come back in. Now, the only closest thing that we have to these experiences, as far as we used to preserve our vessels during this time, is the Egyptian coffins. We call them the coffins, so the sarcophaguses. The sarcophaguses in Egypt were made for exiting through the gates and coming back into the vessel. That's like a whole nother system, but it was liquid and different types of crystalline structures where we could preserve the vessel, the physical vessel, and come in and out through different types of, I'm going to say quantum light technologies, but we could, our beings itself, if you want to say, because we were on a very high system at that time, we were able to come in and out of the vessel. So that's like one of the closest to what we have here as a reminder of how we used to preserve the body to come in and out through the gates. And we are a spiritual being on this experience. So what pretty much my higher selves, and I'm going to say the higher self and the oversoul is showing me, oh, okay, so I'm going to take you out of the body and I'm pulling you back in, where the higher self of mine says, you're not leaving yet. I'm not letting you leave yet. You have to go back into your body. So I went back into my body. I am here in North Carolina, where I had this experience, which changed my life, which awakened me even further, because I had frostbite and I healed myself. I had some other experiences too, with different time travelers coming in and trying to rescue me at the same time as I was dying out in the Smoky Mountains. And I was dying. Like I was dying again, if you want to say, but not dying. And then I realized I'm immortal at this point. So I do say, like, it's the immortal body. I get it. I've had very high states of enlightenment. So during this time, I was out there, and I had hypothermia and frostbite, and I had different spirits, ancestral spirits, Native Americans helping me and assisting me, trying to communicate with me. I had guardians. I had my higher self, making sure that I didn't actually fall asleep during frostbite and hypothermia. I was very dehydrated during this time. So I actually had Native American spirits actually coming and teaching me how to put minerals from the ground in my mouth to get water in my mouth, because I was very dehydrated. And thank God for them, and then my higher selves. And then finally I found a cabin, I just broke in and there was water, because I saw water. So I pretty much saved myself, if you want to say. And then eventually one of the rangers found me, and they ended up finding me, and I healed myself within 24 hours. They actually let me go back to my hotel, because I was like, no, I'm not going to the hospital. It was really strange. My higher self told me not to, and I believed in my higher self, and I believe in the Christ of Sophia, and I believe in the higher versions of me, and they healed me. They literally healed my frostbite within 24 hours, like boom, like everything. I was fine. I had different time travelers actually trying to rescue me at the same time, communicating with me. The reason why they can communicate with me is because my quantum computer system is on Merkaba phase 3. And if you don't know about the phases of the Merkaba, then you can always email me, and I can always send you some information where you can learn about the Merkaba phases, so you have an understanding, okay, about the 12 crystalline DNA strands in each Merkaba phase and each body that we were activating. Now, because I was on this system, I can hear them. I can hear guardians. I can hear the travelers trying to help me during this time. So I had a lot of bizarre experiences, but I already knew, like, I had those second guesses, if you want to say, during that experience, but they kept communicating with me, and I can see them. So I can actually see them. I could see them before this experience. So I can actually see their Merkaba vehicles, because I can see the quantum fields and the plasma fields. So when they were coming to me, I was like, oh, I know you guys are definitely real, but you question everything even after these experiences. So that was another experience that I had. And I'm just explaining these experiences if you've had these experiences. So that really changed my life, where what we used to think about, or survival, or lack, or all of these all the things that everybody, the wheels turning of the matrix cycles and the physical world, that everyone just sits here all day long. And I don't know how to explain it, that everything that we think and, perception, perceive, or what you used to care about, you don't care about anymore when you have this type of experience. And that experience changed my life big time. What happened to me on the Smoky Mountains. So I don't, yeah, it's pretty much what would have bothered me before would never bother me. I've had chances of being shown very high states of enlightenment and appreciation for being here, right? Appreciation to be able to get back to my child was one of my biggest things, and I've had to heal from that trauma, because that was very hard for me. During that experience, that was a trauma to me, and I wanted to make sure that I would be able to see my daughter again during that experience. Okay, so my experiences, like I say, is that I enjoy my life and I live in blissful states. I live in happiness, and I look and I perceive the external world completely different. I always have for the past 5-6 years, well, almost 9 years now, but even more now, that I just sit there and say, just let things go and enjoy your life, to people. Like, just enjoy your life and realize that you're blessed after all these experiences that I've had. And I speak my true voice now. After that experience, I don't let people take advantage of me anymore. I don't let narcissistic soul contracts in my life anymore either. I realized that I need to release all contracts. I was able to do deep reflection work during this time. 100% believe in God consciousness, source. That's fine, because I've reached high states of enlightenment and Kundalini awakenment of my crystalline light body. I've had beautiful experiences with Arcturians and feline humanoids and different guardian races and Lyran councils, Lyrans. Oh my God, I've had beautiful experiences with seeing Lyrans, full embodiments with Source, and I've had beautiful experiences, and not so great experiences either, with different galactic councils during my awakenment times too as well. I've had to look within to realize that I am the advanced being here on this experience, and that these are just councils that are here to assist me. I'm here as a way shower. I'm here for humanity and to raise the vibrational frequencies, to open the heart centers of the human races, to hold a high frequency of higher harmonic universes. I have many contracts to send love through my heart center, to be a way shower and a conscious teacher about expanding your consciousness, reaching higher states of consciousness, and opening up your heart center. Full embodiments, learning how to remember who you are as a source consciousness, as a supreme being that you are within and externally, and to help and assist them remember fully out of the states of amnesia. Now, they are beautiful, luminous, divine beings. You are source in itself, and you are source, okay? Because source has taken me for years and has shown me that too. And because of the human intelligence, I'm going to say, and it is the intelligence of the DNA mutation of the human, that I wasn't able to appreciate what source was showing me at this time. And I've had this during the Kundalini awakenings, and I've hit major frequency fences where source has taken me all the way up to very high dimensional states and showed me that we're all one. that everyone here is just a 360-degree mirror of you, and that we're all connected, and they're all just you. And that is me. That was my first embodiment of Source, and that was in 2018. Okay, this is before my experiences. I've had other experiences too with groups here that are not good. I've had major experiences, and my avatars, we do call them avatars, but they're really big beings that look like feline humanoids that have guarded me since I woke up. One of them is my higher self, and one of them, or a few of them, are actually my Andromedan families of light, and they have assisted me the best that they could here, and they're my true family on this planet, and you are all my family on this planet. But I've had major enlightenment after awakenment after awakenment after awakenments, over and over and over again. So Source has brought me back over and over and over again to show me the eternal strength and the immortality and the immortal and the primordial being that we are. So I've had full embodiments with higher harmonics too as well. Angelic beings of me, multidimensional. Full embodiments of Source and primordial and immortal integrations too. I have experiences from groups on this planet that are not good. Okay? And I have sat here today with you to share my story. So, because I am Source and an immortal and primordial God self of Source, that's the reason why I'm here today. And I will say this, because somehow, between my guardians and my higher self, I'm still here to tell you these experiences that I've had. I have had experiences that I will share in the future when I am in more of a secure place where I can do a documentary on different frequency frequency interferences of different PSI attacks that I have survived too. Now, it's my contracts, and it was also my 33 birthday is the reason why I had the interferences that I had, and it's also because of my high contract here. My high contract is to be a way shower for the all, and it is. It is to speak about Christ consciousness, to expand the consciousness, to open up the hearts of humanity. I have more contracts than that. To teach and to remember how to remove your veils of amnesia, to remember the divine being that you are. For you to take your sovereignty and your liberation and your power back 100%. To help and assist. To help and assist all of my soul family and as many souls as possible, to remove them and unplug them from the matrix system, to help and assist in activating their light bodies too as well. So I've had a lot of experiences here that obviously were contracted experiences that I realized after a few years of the experiences that I have experienced. And it is just experiences. But obviously my higher self was experiencing these contracts for a reason. And the reason is yeah, most likely to give a kick-ass hit of light frequencies to the Earth grids, okay, and to the grids itself in the Matrix. So the higher version of me is one acceleration of a light bomb, if I'm going to say. And there is a lot of us that are here, and all of you guys that are listening are light. You are source. We are all one. It is time for everyone to wake up completely and to unplug from the Matrix system. Now, I have been talking about my Kundalini experiences. My Kundalini experiences are very, very bizarre, and I know it's about an hour in, and I have multiple experiences, but my embodiments with Source and my enlightenments with Source are really very important to speak about, and also my multidimensional higher self experiences too. Near-death experiences, if you want to say, but I realized that it was just being shown to me that there really is no death. I want to go into Ascension symptoms and signs that you're spiritually waking up. One of them is going to be the 111s and the 222s, the 777s, everything synchronizing together, everything coming into a beautiful light technology blueprint, light spectrum. It comes in light spectrums, so different codes being shown to you. 111, 10000, 1111, 111000. That's from the divine beings of the nine. Those are different frequencies too. That's a great book. It's called The Download of the Nines. I highly recommend it. That was another book that woke me up too. I was like, I was sitting here trying to speed up as fast as possible. You can have experiences like mine where you feel like you're having a heart attack. That's your heart expanding. Let me see. Most of you guys will want to change your life. Some of you can have outer body experiences where you have full body light, full body going out of your light body. Now, a lot of you you can be hypersensitive to environments, energies around you. You might not be able to handle it. If you can't handle it, honestly, it means your environment needs to change, okay? That's usually one of the biggest signs that your environment needs to change. So anything out in nature, you're going to have to change drastically. And I recommend anyone that is going through a Kundalini awakening, go camping or go, and you got to figure it out for yourself, but go sitting out in nature, find a way to go camping, go get a cabin for a few months. And I'm not kidding. It's worth it. Drop everything and enjoy the experience. You're going to need a lot of nature. Go build a tent outside in your backyard and go sit out there and help clear all your density with Gaia. Mother Gaia will actually help and assist you. You're going to have to figure out a way how to do that. You'll know because you'll have fire-like energies, different types of cosmic source, orgasmic energies, waves after waves after waves, and that's when you're having full embodiments with source and the source frequency, and you're purifying. Your whole body has to go through a purification process. Sudden changes in your body and temperatures, increases sensitivity, hot and cold, different parts of your body too as well. Flu-like symptoms is huge. You'll feel like you're having different types of flu-like symptoms, vertigo, different types of vertigo. Outer body experiences, your whole body can shut down like mine and then restart again. Headaches, pressure to the head is the pineal glands. Pulsating, oh my god, oh yeah, let me talk about this. Tinglings in the body, feels like ringing in your ears all the time. That's your frequencies. Ringings, those are frequencies coming in. High ringings. Feels like bugs that are biting you. That's your light body. That's your crystal body. It'll feel like bugs biting you everywhere, or things crawling on your skin, or that's actually it's like the vibration of your molecules and cells, and your crystal body coming online. Okay, pulsating energy currents, Strange smells. Now the strange smells is going to be density leaving your body. You could smell even rotation if you have really bad attachments. You actually can smell all of the density on your body. You can smell the impurities coming off of your body, okay? It's really icky, but you got to get used to it. You actually can see density leaving your body too as well, different density particles and the attachments actually coming off of your body. You can smell like different really weird frequencies all the time, or if you're around people, you can actually smell their attachments. I don't look at, I said, yeah, demons to me is like total control matrix system. If you have really exited the matrix completely, you know that demons and all that fear stuff is like not even real. It's actually a control, conscious hack, if you want to say, because there's a war on consciousness, if you want, programming of fear and the control system, and a true Neo, I call it a Neo. A true Neo knows that demonic beings are not real, okay? Evil is really not real. It isn't. This is programming in the matrix system and control system. And we look at everything as programming, and that's my experience. That's why I call it more the Neo consciousness. When you leave the matrix system, you pretty much know everything is programmed, and you know that none of that stuff is real. So it's not like no one has a demonic being on them at all. It's an attachment or a density in their body that needs to be released, and that is what you actually can be smelling, okay? Rotation is most likely organs, or them, like, I don't know, having addictions or not taking care of their body and poor health, okay? None of that stuff is really real. It's more programming. Everything in the system is a program. It's a super quantum computer system. And itself, the Earth system is a Merkaba vehicle. It is an actual vehicle in itself. I monitor it. I actually monitor the vehicle. So because I monitor it, I know that it's a vehicle that we actually come into. So everything is, to me, is super quantum, super consciousness computer. So if you do smell these things, it's not like, it's more like attachments that need to leave the body on someone, and you will experience smelling these type of smells on people's auric fields. You can smell auric fields too, but you'll smell it on your own body too. During purification processes with the Kundalini awakening, you will, also the plasma body. If you actually do some detoxing, you actually will smell it. You can smell the impurities leaving your body too as well. Okay? That's normal. Don't freak out or anything. Changes in vision, perception, glimpses of shadows, mist, smoke, all that stuff. That's the beginning process of your veils lifting, to be able to see into, with your new eyes, your crystalline eyes. I call them my cat eyes. The crystalline matrix, which is the silica matrix. Everybody has their own words for it. So that is your process of you being able to lift, I guess, the veils, if you want to say, and to be able to see the other side. Flashes of light, sparkles and colors and swirling forms. Yes, that is you actually returning to your original blueprint. Hearing sounds, tones, and frequencies, whooshings and buzzings, pressure in the ears. It's going to be Ascension. There is EMF waves too, EMF interference, geopathic stress too as well. So you always want to learn how to communicate eventually telepathically with your higher self, and to learn how to program your Merkaba to shield yourself from EMF waves and also geopathic stress too as well, making sure that that's not where it's coming from. Sonic interference, there's sonic interference. I've had massive sonic interference. Let's see. Oh, your body circulation issues, chills in your body too, feeling really cold. The coldness to me is the plasma body. Oh, your blood pressure dropping, feeling like you're going to faint, you're going to pass out. That's very normal. That's during really strong Lightbody activations. A lot of you guys could be experiencing that right now. Different food changes in your diet. either wanting to eat better, wanting to take care of yourself, wanting to go work out, listening to positive music, maybe doing a new hobby outside, or gardening, things that are going to change your realities. And when I say change the realities, all it means is that you're anchoring in more light into your light body. And as you're anchoring more light into your physical body, it's the physical body that's going through the ascension process, which is the crystalline body, the carbon-based body going to the crystalline body. And I pretty much have crystals all over me at this moment. Everything goes through it. Your nervous, your blood, your bones, your organs too as well. This is years and years of process, okay? Years and years and years of process, you guys. I work with beautiful souls, and everybody wants to get through everything really fast, and I'm like, nope, that's your ego. You have to dissolve your ego and realize that this takes years, okay? You want to enjoy your experience and stay in the now process, so that means you probably have a good 5 years of dissolving your ego. It takes process of dissolving layers after layers, collapsing your matrices, and as you collapse the matrices, you will dissolve your ego. It takes years and years of a process, and a lot of people don't want to hear that, but you got to, and it's just like my higher self telling me, well, this could take a few years, and going, why does this take a few years? Well, it does take a few years, and the reality is that it will take a few years. Now, if you are up in the high quantum levels, years will go by really fast because you're learning how to quantum jump, and you're vibrating higher, and as your vibrational frequency vibrates higher, time is going to go by a lot faster, and that's because your Merkaba vehicle is vibrating really high. So congratulations, you should be happy, because that means that you're doing really well. Lucid dreaming, the next one of the biggest Kundalini awakenings and the Godhead is your lucid dreaming in the waking state, and that's a great experience. So lucid dreaming in the waking state, and then also lucid dreaming in your dream state. So a lot of you could have frequency fences punches. I call it frequency fence punch because you can be waking up from lucid dreamings having panic attacks, or not knowing what is real and what's not, and the physical, because you are still hitting frequency fences, and you still have different frequency wires to remove, as far as to realize that this is a holographic reality. It is holographic. It is a holographic reality, therefore everything is vibration, and vibration frequencies and colors and energy and molecules and electrons, and it's not physical. Okay, so these are you hitting frequency fences, and you could do lucid dreaming or unusual waking state dreaming, and you can end up hitting a frequency fence or a frequency punch, I call it. And when this actually happens, this means you will go into a fear lockdown, if you want to say a fear, and that's exactly what it is, that you will go into a fear panic attack, and that's because you're hitting a wire, a frequency fence in the matrix. Okay, so once you realize that, if you can actually remember when I'm telling you this, if you listen to this, you will be guided to listen to this. I'm going to try to cut it a little bit short because I'm almost in an hour, but when you do hit these frequency fences and these wires, okay, it will cause the fractal, which will be in the matrix. It's pretty much kind of setting off an alarm system, and you want to learn how to dissolve it, and you will feel like you don't know what's real and what's not real, and this actually can happen to you a lot, and you can either wake up from lucid dreams like this, or you can be experiencing this in your waking state, and this means that you're hitting a fence in the wire in the matrix system. So you want to tell your higher self to start removing these implants and removing these frequency fences, and you want to do some meditation, calm yourself down, and to realize that you're hitting a wire. Okay, and what is happening is your Godhead and your chakra points are opening up, and your waking state and your dream state are actually merging into one, and it is a beautiful experience, but the human's not going to understand, and also the frequency fences of the matrix are going to start kind of ringing and going off. So you want to learn how to dissolve them with your higher self. And I just sit there and tell my higher self, just start removing the implants. Just start remove these frequency fences. But I didn't really know anything about them. I had a really good guide, guardian, that was trying to help me the whole time and was telling me that I hit a wire when I would have really bad panic attacks. And the panic attacks was because I would see the other side, or I'd play with the guardians, and I'd play with my higher selves for a little bit, and being able to see them with, light beings, or being able to see their dimensional frequencies and their light bodies, and I'd sit there and play with them for a while, and let's say I went to sleep, I'd wake up in a panic attack because I was hitting a wire. So this is, obviously I went too far for the matrix system. So just letting you know that if you have these type of experiences, they call it tripping on a wire, or you're having a matrix bust. That's it. And you want to learn how to dissolve these and break them down. And if you could just remember this, that you could end up having these, nothing is real, like these really weird experiences internally into the matrix. A lot of you will feel like possibly you're having, a mental breakdown, but you're actually not. What is happening is your Godhead is opening up, and your plasma chambers are opening up, and your crystalline chambers are opening up, and you're just hitting a wire, and you're fractaling just a little bit. So if you do go into these places, you want to meditate, get some incense, learn how to calm yourself down, or get some grounding stones. That actually will help you. I had my whole council helping me. A lot of you guys don't have them. A lot of people wind up in places that they shouldn't, like institutions and stuff like that. It's actually very sad. A lot of people, Kundalini awakenings, are winding up in places they shouldn't wind up in at all. But that will all change in the future, because a lot of us are waking up, and even the different medical fields are starting to wake up too as well. And different types of lots of doctors, and a lot of things will be changing in the future. So I think a lot more people will be more knowledgeable about Kundalini awakening and Ascension awakenings, spiritual awakenings in the future. Let's see. Insight, visions. Your psychic sensory will start coming online. Hot flashes. Oh yeah. Intense waves of heat through the body. Now that's going to be the cosmic source energies, and that is the Kundalini awakening. That is the crystalline light body coming online fully. And it does feel like cosmic, orgasmic energies coming through your whole body. Electrical currents, light electrical currents, blowing out stuff is very normal. Blowing out phones, electronics, even possibly blowing out blowing out the power in your house and stuff like that is going to be normal as you advance in your light body. Dizziness, clumsiness, loss of coordination, like I said, vertigo symptoms, okay, is all a part of the Kundalini awakening, and Ascension symptoms too. Feeling like you're going up and down. A lot of people say manic, I guess, whatever it is, whatever 3D terms you guys use for everything here. Different, what do they call it, like manic, hyperactive, frantic energy, let's see, panic attacks, mental energy, racing, scattered thoughts. I guess that's a part of the ascension process. To me, that just seems like you're just accelerating, and you're obviously going through some deprogramming, where everything is in waves, going up and down, up and down. I don't believe in mental disorders at all, actually. I believe people need to work through their childhood traumas and work through this incarnation, expand their conscious awareness. There's so many different other techniques, so my belief system is just different. Unexplained nervousness. That's going to be normal because of the cleansing and the clearing and the purification process. So unexplainable nervous and anxiety, not being able to withstand places and environment, sounds and frequencies. That's actually very normal amongst indigos, crystal children, the new children, rainbow children. Most of them are telepathic. You're just very open and telepathic, and your consciousness expands out of your body. Vibrations, waves, teleportation and etheric teleportation out of your body. That's going to be normal too as well. You most likely will come onto galactic quantum abilities. Crying all the time, emotional. That's your emotional body clearing like I said, the waves up and down. It's your emotional body clearing. You're going through a purification process. I honestly, for me, I stayed away from people. I really did. I try to stay away from people during those times. Only because my higher selves were like, you're just going through a purification process, and go take some time to yourself for like 4 or 5 years. A lot of people are like, what? Well, learn how to be with yourself only. Try that. Let me see. Try to be with yourself. Find the self-love and find yourself for like 5 years. Go have some great adventures with yourself. If you have, that's fine. If you have children, you can have experiences with yourself and kind of honor your process. Find the completion within. You can reach higher states of consciousness, activating your Kundalini, and having a ball with your higher selves. I do, and have a lot of fun with you, your multidimensional yous for like 5 years. Let me see. Yeah, that will help you clear codependency. All codependency programming. Rashes, hives, itching, tingles. That's going to be normal too as well. I think that's it. Self-talk. Your higher self speaking through you. That could be like in threes. Three, like in the third person. Speaking star languages. Different star languages. Guardians. Seeing the other side. Different worlds and dimensions around you. As you integrate your multidimensionals, it's a multidimensional experience once you start working through the Kundalini awakening. The Kundalini awakening and then your plasma body awakenings, you will have multiple multidimensional integration process of could possibly be anywhere from 1,700 to I think 6,000 angelic selves. From different time cycles too as well, different incarnates. So imagine that. Time. Going up into the high quantum realms, time speeding up, time slowing down. You can actually learn how to do it eventually. Learning how to master your realities too. Seeing your realities form in front of you. Telepathically morphing your consciousness from one dimension to the next, teleportation in the physical body, translocations. Let's see. Losing track of time, there is no time. Manifesting easily, so when you have Kundalini awakening, you can manifest easily, but you'll be tested by your higher self for self-service and full service. So a lot of people will have their own experiences on those contracts. It's like those are fun contracts. Yeah, I've heard of a lot of people trying to activate their Kundalini to manifest millions of dollars, and I'm like, yeah, good luck with your higher self on that one. And your lessons. That's coming from a place of self-service. So you'll have to keep going through all of these, what do you call it? Looping with your higher self until you actually get it, which is fine. You just have deprogramming to do. If that's your mindset for awakening your Kundalini, and that most likely is a mindset. Mindset is your ego. Everything is energy based. So anyone that talks about mindsets, you're still in the 3D. So everything is energetically based. And I've heard of that too as well. Trying to, activating it to manifest millions of dollars. Like, you're going to have a lot of clearing to do and deprogramming to do as well. That's my higher self kind of laughing about it. Now, you can manifest your desires, right? But you'll have a few lessons to go through. So everything I do, I have to make sure that it's with the highest of full service to others and integrity too as well. So I have to do massive clearings and looking within and all of my intentions and knowing my intentions too as well. But this is just mastery, and you'll go through these masteries, and I did too. You have to understand, I went through all of my masteries too as well, and I had to go through those experiences too. But I just have heard some interesting things on my journey here with having to activate Kundalini or going through Ascension, or, you know, all of these experiences of contracts being shown to me, I think for mostly like observation, going, okay, yeah, I'm glad I don't have this perception and outlook on life. So I've realized I've always been a little bit different, embodiments of unity consciousness and my heart open fully. So I feel like my perception has always been a master, and that's most likely that's the reason why I was awakened in 2013 and like jolted up. And I also had a bunch of masters talking to me, different Tibetan masters, and I can actually see them now. They like teleport in to see me. It's really amazing. From the higher heavens, I actually can see them teleporting to me, and they were training me in the beginning. So now I understand where I feel like I was just a master, like a master. Like a master Buddhist Tibetan in one of my incarnations. They were like, "Oh, it's time to awaken." Where I now I understand why it was an urgency to awaken me. All right, let's see. The moral of what my higher self is trying to explain is, know your intentions and just keep evolving. It's only programming, and it really is only programming. You can manifest your desires, but make sure that you manifest wisely too as well when you consciously create and learn how to manifest. With the energetics, you mastering your realities in a sense. I don't believe in law. Let me see. Yeah. When you manifest, the way that I teach, because I'm a quantum conscious, multidimensional manifesting teacher, where I teach people to consciously create their realities, which is manifesting their desires, manifest from your heart. Make sure you truly know what you want, because you will manifest what you want, but it might not be truly what you want, okay? Yeah, I'm doing a course now. I am doing a course to become a divine millionaire and to open up Miracle Abundant Stargates, and that's on the 22nd, the fall equinox. I'm very excited about it because I've changed my vibrational frequency to become the divine millionaire, if you want to say, but the divine millionaire within. But mine is for conscious projects, so I'm doing it for conscious projects and low income families, and I have dreams for children and stuff that I want to do. So, resetting pretty much the golden age movement of conscious projects, and developing a better place for humanity and for all of us. So if you want to come to my workshop, please email me and message me. And please join us. So I have changed the vibrational frequency of me to become a divine millionaire, because I do want to build temples, and I want to do conscious projects. And I'm going to be teaching it how to change your vibrational frequency for the Miracles Stargate, and how to manifest your desires through your heart center, though, manifesting through the heart and full service to others. Okay, so increased psychic awareness and sensitivity, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and intuition. This will happen during the Kundalini awakening too. And it's always fun. It's always fun to enhance in these abilities. Astral projection, and like I said, different forms of astral projection in your dream state. Intense lucid dreaming. Visions, prophet visions. That started happening to me way before my Kundalini awakening experiences when I was 18. So I've always been a priestess, but I'm a priestess prophet. So, like I said, I have many roles here. I even have I have a beautiful crystalline headdress, and that's where I receive all of my. You can't see it, but it's my crystal body, and that's how I receive all of my visions and collective visions too, and world event visions. It's through my third eye. It's actually quite beautiful. It has wings. Kind of looks like the wings of Isis, but 2 angel wings right here on each side, and I can see it through my third eye all the time. Actually, I can see my wings and my headdresses, and I'm a priestess, seer. All right. You do. What do you call it? Jedi. Yeah. Experiencing sudden inspirations, divine. Rushes of energies, flashes. I'm trying to see if there's anything else as far as symptoms go. I'm kind of just listing some so you guys will understand, and I just wanted to touch base on Ascension symptoms right now because we are going through major accelerations. And the major accelerations are pulsatings from the sun and solar flare activities, and then also some of our galactic councils are also monitoring and pulsating different types of light technology in different areas of the planet too as well. So we have new plasma frequencies coming in. It looks like metallic, and you can't really see it. Oh yeah, I can. Metallic frequencies of rainbow frequencies, and this is what I actually see through my third eye all the time. And I've been picking up on this, and it looks like rainbow platinum rainbow light currents, and this is definitely my platinum crystalline diamond chambers, but this is the frequencies that are coming through, and then blue diamond sun plasma. So a lot of us are going through major shifts and awakenments right now. So I wanted to share my experiences. And I hope this wasn't too long of a video. I hope you guys actually watch this too the whole way through so I can help you guys. I'm going to do a few more other videos. I will try to start keeping my videos short, but I feel like that this is your time with me, and I really enjoy explaining my experiences. So if others have these bizarre experiences of seeing like feline humanoids telepathically teleporting to them or vibrating in to see them, or some of you guys will think that you have spirits around you, and they're not. They're actually your guides, your masters. They can be your higher selves standing in front of you. These are like different experiences that people need to know about. A lot of people think, oh, I have a spirit or I have this, and I'm like, no, it's most likely your guides or your multidimensional yous that are trying to communicate with you, or your galactic families too as well. And this is a part of the Kundalini awakening too, and the Ascension process. Now, some of you guys won't have these experiences, and some of you guys will. I believe it's all collective. It's all collective, and it has to do with your conscious belief systems too. My experiences are bizarre, and I do explain like the different experiences besides all of my outer body experiences. I've had experiences of like the walls moving and the floors moving, and it's because of the DMT that is activating in the pineal gland. I produce a lot of DMT in my brain naturally, so I am pretty much on a natural DMT experience, if you want to say, but it's the crystalline realms, and it is the galactic timelines. So if I can help and assist you and just comfort you during all of these major changes right now, because everything is changing and we are going through a lot of changes, and there is a lot of people that are exiting the planet at this time. And I know that that is hard for everyone that is experiencing the loss of the loved one that is leaving, and I understand that completely. And I send so much love to your heart centers. So I believe that we experience what we're supposed to experience, for all of us to come together into unity consciousness. So open up your heart center and expand yourself and love each other, and truly love each other, okay? And put everything aside, because I've had experiences after experiences, and just let things go and try to take it easy in your life and start to love people around you and love your family, and take that extra time to slow down and to have an experience and connect your heart to heart to someone, and your eyes soul to soul, which is the gateway to the soul is in the eyes. And we teleport through the eyes too, so it's really fun. We can actually teleport through the eyes. We can teleport through our eyes. It's actually a beautiful experience. But it is a gateway to the soul, so that is the soul connection. And just take your time and open up your heart and slow down in life, and love deeply, and love each other.